Welcome back to Dead Loner Productions. I'm going to be playing a game called Mutant Uprising. Not a clue what I'm getting myself into. Your name is Rick, an unemployed 20-something who lives alone in a one-bedroom house. After a busy morning getting rejected for job interviews, you sit down to watch the news. The newscaster is speaking in a panicked tone, which you think is quite unprofessional. Your eyes widen as you hear what he is saying. There has been some kind of disease outbreak. People are mutating in horrible ways and killing anyone who hasn't been infected. Your bowels tighten as you realize this could be the apocalypse. Dun dun dun! Oh no, whatever shall we do? Suddenly there is a loud knocking on the door. You almost jump out of your skin. Your heart is pounding. But fortunately, you haven't crapped yourself. Yet. The knocking continues, loudly and insistently. What do you do? Bus is coming at you from one angle, and a guy with a gun's running at you from another. What do you do? What do you do? So, ignore the knocking and keep watching TV. Go to an upstairs room and look down to see who's knocking on the door. Fling the door open and greet whoever it is with a warm welcome. Open the door cautiously on a chain. I'm gonna say go upstairs and look down to see who's knocking. Look down onto your doorstep from an upstairs bedroom and see Mrs. Miggins, your elderly next-door neighbor. She is beating on the front door with both fists, seemingly trying to break her way in. You are confused as to why she is acting this way, until you notice there is some kind of yellow goo dribbling from her mouth. She is clearly one of the infected people that the TV report was talking about. Go to the kitchen, find something there to deal with her. Go downstairs and panic. Jump out of the window and try to land on her. Let's do that. You jump out of the window, trying to land feet first on the mutated Mrs. Miggins. You miss and hear a crack as you break your ankles on contact with the concrete path. You cry out in agony, then look up in horror as Mrs. Miggins moves towards you. Acidic vomit dribbles from her mouth as she stands over you. Drops of acid land on your trousers, first burning through the fabric and then through your groin. Thankfully, the pain causes you to black out. You never wake up. Find it silly that was even a choice. Who the fuck does that? Yeah, I'm gonna, just jump out the window and try to land on them. Which in the long run would not accomplish anything. Let's fling the door open and greet whoever it is with a warm welcome. You fling the door open with a wide smile on your face. It is your elderly next-door neighbor, Mrs. Miggins. She doesn't look quite as you remembered. There is some kind of yellow goo dribbling from her mouth. You choose to ignore this and begin to say, "Good morning, neighbor." Before you get the chance, Mrs. Miggins opens her mouth and spews a torrent of acidic vomit over your head. Large chunks of flesh begin to fall off your face, and your hearty welcome becomes inaudible as you choke to death on your own blood. Oh, that's brutal. Okay, loud knock, let's, upstairs room, look down, see who it is. Downstairs panic. I'm gonna say go to the kitchen. You run into the kitchen, then realize this possibly wasn't the best idea in the world. The only way out is back the way you came, and Mrs. Miggins is already standing in the doorway. Pick up a kitchen knife and cut the bitch's. Wow. Just straight up, right off the bat. Okay. Get a raw, bloody hunk of meat from your fridge and offer it to her. Beat the crap out of her. Hide in a cupboard. Let's go with this choice. I doubt it's gonna work. Pick up a knife with a long, sharpened blade. Mrs. Miggins moves towards you and lets out a husky growl, careful to avoid the acidic bile spewing from her mouth. You lash out at her neck and land a mighty blow. A large gash appears in her throat and she falls to the floor. You run over to her fallen body and start hacking at her throat, like a man possessed. You scream, "Die, die, die!" as blood spurts all over your kitchen and splashes across your face. Eventually you regain control of your senses. Mrs. Miggins' decapitated head is lying on the floor. You drop the knife in horror. You didn't realize you were capable of such brutality. Still shaken, you decide to get the hell out of your house. Brutality. Okay, so that was a bit graphic. You head out of your house, only pausing to pick up a rucksack from your shed. You have a feeling it will come in handy. You need to find somewhere to hide out. Where do you go? Head into the town center or head into the open countryside? I'm gonna say countryside because the city sounds crowded. You don't have a car or any other means of transport. You were unable to afford it, seeing as you are unemployed. What's that? How were you able to afford a house if you couldn't afford a car? You won it in a raffle. Yeah, that's it. Anyway, I'm going to completely ignore my terrible, terrible writing and just continue with the story. Lazy, just lazy. You're soon becoming tired and realize you won't make much headway like this. Luckily, there's a farm nearby. Oh, that can't be good. If I hear one mention of someone saying "squeal like a pig," I'm not playing this game anymore. You head over to the farm. As you near your destination, you hear an array of strange and disturbing noises. If that's the neighbor squealing like a pig, I'm gone. There's a low guttural groan coming from the farmhouse, and the cattle out back are making sounds unlike any you have ever heard before. And get out of here and go to the town center, go straight into the farmhouse, go and see the moo cows, sneak around outside to try to peek into the farmhouse. Oh, let's take a peek. Cautiously, you peer in through one of the windows. You are disgusted by what you see. There is a farmer inside. His head has swollen to 10 times its original size, and has absorbed his upper torso. He also appears to have grown a tail. Out of a morbid fascination, you continue to watch him, and are astonished to see he is carrying on with the same daily chores he did before becoming a hideous mutant. It appears these mutants still understand the concept of civilization. You soon get bored, and I'm already bored, and decide to head back into the town center. Oh, goody. This can only end well. You enter the town center and are terrified by what you see. Mutants are everywhere, and they are killing people left, right, and center. Ha ha. Ha ha. This game is just loaded with silly jokes. Hideous freaks, worse than in any horror movie you have ever seen, are literally tearing people apart and eating the goo that comes out. What? Blood? Drinking the blood? What? Whatever. If you don't act quickly, you will join the long list of victims. I'm already, bored by this game. This is ridiculous. Hide in a pile of bin bags. Try to sneak by the carnage without being noticed. Panic and start running away like a muppet. This sounds plausible. You give a cowardly shriek and start pegging it away down the street with all of the other mutant chow. You begin to think that you're going to make it when you almost bump into an 8-foot-tall mutant wielding a chainsaw. Oh, that's pleasant. the thought strikes you that he looks almost exactly like Dr. Salvador in Resident Evil 4. Just as he brings his weapon down on your head and sprays chunks of brain and skull across the street. You died. Retry from previous checkpoint. I'm just gonna end it right here. Okay. I'm gonna try and find a better horror game to play for the month of October. La 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 la. Shocktober? Whatever. Anyways. Dead Lona, signing out. Bye.